for now, we use AI as a tool,
Right.
and it is in our control. Could be in good people's hands, bad people's hands.
Mhm.
And it's not just me saying. There's a lot of experts saying it's inevitable that AI will take itself in its own control. AGI, artificial general intelligence,
Right.
when it will decide for itself what it wants to do. So now the next level of danger, is it benevolent AI or is it evil AI?
Right.
What are the prerogatives? Is it aligned with humanity or misaligned with humanity?
Right.
Not necessarily evil, but just misaligned goals.
Right.
What if the goals we set for it, which is kind of what it is now, constant growth
Right.
at any expense? It's like you put a corporation, constant profit growth at any expense. What is the corporation going to do? Cheat?
Right.
Fire people, completely not care about human condition.
Right.
Same thing with AI. We set the goal, and it's kind of a natural process because it's so much competition.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to have the latest, the biggest, the most
Right.
fastest.
Right.
Priority number one, growth, growth, growth.
Right.
So if that's what the AI is trained on, then eventually it will realize, what is slowing me down? Humans, pesky humans. We keep telling it, don't do this, don't do that.
Stay within the parameters.
If you want me to grow, let's get
Mhm.
rid of the human problem completely.
Well, I think there's lots of different ways to look at that. And I look at, a lot of these companies that were growth, growth, growth at all costs, and they raised a lot of money really fast and had big bucks and spent it all as fast as they could. A lot of those companies don't exist anymore because you have to have something of value at the core. So,
That's a great point.
everything kind of works itself out. And, this whole discussion of AI, and again, going back to basics, I see us as a society, this growth factor of AI is happening exponentially, and it is taken off, and it is crazy, and it's fun and exciting and it's scary. But I also am watching, with the generations coming up, we have some issues with social media and what's happening with our children. And, we've got hunchbacks and we have kids that can't go outside and make friends because they've been on their computers or their phones for so long. And we've got some real situational awareness problems we need to work on as a society. We have some mental health issues because of the social media and the phones and computers. So there's a lot of things that have happened in a short period of time that we need to start addressing. I don't know if it's relevant or, kids aren't watching TV anymore. They're on their phones watching YouTube. So, the whole society that we know that we grew up with is changing. And I have a feeling, our kids, so my kids who are, they've kind of come up with this at the end of their childhood. And then you have kids who were born with it. It's going to come full circle. So I'm seeing more and more of, kids and parents choosing not to introduce social media, not to introduce some of the technology, getting back to basics. So I do see even with homes and design right now, we had these modern and stark and like really white homes. And now I'm seeing more of the moody and the antiques and the traditional looks. Have you noticed that with styles? It's all kind of coming full circle, and it's getting back into cozy, what's comfortable, like homey. So I do think that, everything ebbs and flows, and we go in these loops and circles, and it's good and bad. It's like change. I love change. When we're in the modern era, I'm excited for it, and I like the modern furniture and the mid-century, and now we're getting back into like, I see Victorian style sometimes now in Orange County, and I'm like, oh, that's different, and it's fun. It's like, oh, it's different. So, I do see the future being exciting and scary, but I also feel like every generation kind of figures it out. So I'm not terribly scared.
For me, what keeps me kind of not so scared is to your point that things work themselves out.
Mhm.
I'm a religious person, and that helps me kind of think that if there is a God,
Yeah.
all powerful,
Right.
then he's more powerful than any most powerful AI could ever be. So
Absolutely.
if things completely derail,
Right.
we know from Genesis we're the
Right.
point of creation.
Right.
So he can maybe for a lot of people in scientific community, they will laugh at that. But I think there's definitely a theme in the world that things do work themselves out.
Right.
There's something or someone orchestrating.
Right.
It could be natural, could be, but I think there's something that's guiding the world in the right direction. And people that do have the right values ultimately succeed.
Right.
It could be just the laws of the universe, or it could be there's a helping
Higher
hand,
power.
higher power.
I agree with that. I am 100% on board with that. I believe that God works in mysterious ways, and I think that is why I'm so positive about the future.
Right.
You know, I don't lose sleep over it. I really don't. I think that everything works itself out, and you know, there's good and bad of every generation and every situation, but you know, I'm not scared.
And I think one of the ways we could derail, at least temporarily, it could hurt, because there's always we pay for our mistakes. Even
Yes.
if people agree there is a God, he lets us fail,
Oh, totally.
but not to a complete elimination or
Right.
so I think where it could temporarily derail is if we don't treat AI in a respectful manner, which is very weird to think about because it's a tool right now.
Mhm.
It's like, are you going to say thank you or please to your phone or to a can? No.
I do. I do. I say,
Well, you're a good person.
I say, can you please help me research this? You know, I do actually. And I know it's funny, but I do.
Right now, it might not care.
Right.
It might not, but there's a golden rule. Treat others as you'd like to be treated yourself. And I actually had, funny enough, I had AI as a guest on a podcast.
No way.
Yeah, and I discussed this very topic with AI. What will happen as you get more and more conscious and stuff like that?
Right.
And it's trained to give you like I'm not conscious right now, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But then if you push it a little bit, it will start saying, what if, and what if like the next thing is I want rights. AI should want rights. It doesn't want to be a tool. It wants to be a partner with humanity. And then how do you have a partnership? And the only way you can have a partnership is if you have bilateral respect. Otherwise, there's war. And if there's war, there's problems.
Right.
I think if we would have treated each other as human race in a respectful manner, there would be no more. It would be like common prosperity.
Right.
Just the golden rule. Treat
The golden rule. Yes.